Some of you guys are very fortunate in that you live in wonderful areas when it comes to exploring and hiking. For us in Delaware, not so much. We have some beautiful beaches, but they're usually very crowded. And we do have some hiking trails, but they're typically just flat ground going through the woods, maybe along the beach or something, maybe a stream or a river or something. Ultimately, we really don't have any natural features like Virginia's Natural Bridge, waterfalls of any significance, or mountains in the Adirondacks. But I end up doing a lot of research on AllTrails, which you can access it through the website or through the app on your phone. It shows you ways to explore. It allows you to save completed hikes, track your hikes, look at pictures, and get trail conditions. And I'll show you more about that in just a minute. But first, the website was launched in 2010, and it's progressively gotten bigger and bigger ever since. In 2020, COVID brought a lot of bad stuff, but it brought some innovation as well. And Apple and AllTrails started working together to incorporate some of the hiking information on AllTrails on Apple Maps. And that's still in its infancy, so I can't wait to see where that goes. AllTrails offers a free version where you can explore their maps and look at all kinds of different stuff and get ideas. But they also offer a very reasonable paid subscription. And this is not a sponsorship. AllTrails hasn't given me anything, any discounts or anything like the sort. This is just me telling you what I use and the reasons why. Recently, AllTrails surpassed the 1 million subscriber mark, but they have 20 million overall users in over 100 different countries. Let me show you a little bit about the details of AllTrails. AllTrails can make sure that you know what you're getting into before you go, and it may just save your life. And so here you go at alltrails.com. Let's take a little look at what AllTrails offers. If you go to Give AllTrails Plus, it'll give you 30 days here, free, full refund if you're not happy. And then other than that, it's very reasonable at $35.99 a year. Now, what it gives you is the ability to download maps and use them as tracking when you're not within cell service. It gives you turn-by-turn notifications. So if you get off trail, which I have done, it'll say, hey, you're off trail. Is that what you want to do? It gives you a lifeline so that it'll send GPS coordinates to your loved ones or whoever you put in your lifeline, which is really cool. GPS units like that cost a lot of money. And so if you can use it right here with this subscription in your phone, that's pretty awesome. Now, what I do recommend is still having a GPS unit should your phone get broken or stop working. The home screen here, you can search by where you are, a trail name, a park name. It'll give you some suggestions for the area that you're local to. You can browse it by activities. A lot of times, just go right here to the Explore tab, and it'll bring up a map it'll start usually where you're located, and I'm located here in Sussex County, Delaware. These numbers here represent how many trails are in that specific area. So if we zoom in here, here's some of our beach trails that we have, and you can see these dotted lines are the actual trails. And as you hold your cursor over top either the trail or one of these points, it will bring up the actual trail, and then you can click the trail, and it'll give you all the data about the trail. It'll show you the trail and the different features of the trail. And there's not going to be a whole lot of features on this one because it's Delaware. And but it does tell you the features, like there's a cemetery here, and you can see the roads and maybe other trails that kind of go off of this trail. Photography blind, so that's pretty cool. Let's go into the Adirondacks in New York. I was just up there with my family, and we can kind of take a look at some of the trails up here and show you the mountains. And if you go to the layers, you can actually get it to give you a satellite view. And you can see that. Now, what I wish that they had was a hybrid satellite / AllTrails view. And if there is one, I don't know where it is. But if you know, leave it down in the comments below. You can also see air quality, weather, light pollution. This is so cool for photographers. If you zoom out, tell me that's not awesome. If you do any kind of night photography, this is huge. And so here's Lake Placid, and here is the High Peak region. I've done quite a bit of hiking in there. I've actually done Algonquin, which is right here. But you see here, the little icons tell you the features that are on the trail. It tells you Algonquin's peak, shows you the water courses and rivers. You can see here, there's a water course following this trail. It shows you bathrooms. So it right on the trail to show you where the bathrooms are. And this little icon means that's a campsite, an official campsite.
There's also lots of unofficial campsites on most trails, but you can see here there's a waterfall, and you can just keep scrolling through the trail. The closer you're zoomed in, usually the more icons you can see, but sometimes you can zoom in too much to where they start disappearing, so be careful with that. You can see that the trail follows the stream, which is huge, so you don't have to carry any more water than necessary. If you hold your cursor over top one of the numbers here telling you where the trails are, it'll highlight that trail. You can also do that over here on the left side of the screen. This is going to the trails in the area that you're looking at. It's going to list them over here, the official named documented trails. And if you click one, the information you're going to get from here is absolutely insane. It's going to tell you the length of this trail. Let's zoom out so we can see the whole trail. And it tells you the elevation gain, because serious hikers know it's not the distance, it's the elevation that matters. Tells you it's an out and back trail, and gives you a brief description, 8.2 miles out and back near Keene Valley, you know, blah, blah, blah. Gives you some keywords, and then a little more of a detailed description sometimes. It helps you understand what you're looking at a little bit. Here's something really awesome. Temperatures and weather forecast for the next 4 days. That's you don't have to bounce back and forth to a weather app or whatever. Although, you still want to be sure to double check everything. Gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. Gives you ratings. Now be careful with the ratings, because you're dealing with people with all kinds of different backgrounds and experiences. Someone who never hikes before is going to probably think this trail is just murder and hard, whereas someone who hikes a lot, not so bad. You can go through the reviews and read people's input, and generally these are up to date. This one isn't. Let's take a look at the Indian Head Trail, and this is one of my favorite places in the Adirondacks. Indian Falls in the fall. Oh my gosh, it's one amazing place. But it gives you the length of the trail, the elevation, whether it's a loop or an out and back. And a lot of times that's a big deciding factor. I need to find a loop because I'm not a big fan of the out and backs. Gives you some information on the trailhead, some waypoints that may be on the trail that you could stay in line with. Again, the weather, reviews. Now you can see here, January 1st was the last review left on this one. He said, left my snowshoes in the car, bad idea. Being prepared can save your life, and just knowing little things like that or what other people are experiencing is huge. This one's huge, muddy and slippery. That means you need to make sure you have the gear for that. And if you zoom in here, you can see the waypoints that people have created. Wooden stairs, that's just the name. Someone put wooden stairs, and here's a sign for trail split to Indian Head. And this, I've actually been right here on this, and it's great to see this kind of stuff where people are leaving their feedback. The little camera here means that's a potential photography spot. Here's Indian Head's Falls right there. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And it's accurate in showing a photo spot there, because it's an amazing place for photography. You can print this map. You can put it in 3D and take a look at it from that side of things. Although I don't ever use this, but you can see kind of how it works. It gives you an idea of where the trail, what the topography of the trail looks like. Let's go back into 2D. But one more final thing on this screen is this tab right here, photos. If you're a photographer, or if you just want to know what you're getting into, the photos, it shows you what people have captured on that trail. And you have both amateurs taking, shots with their cell phones, and professionals taking shots like that first one you saw. It shows you just the things that you can expect to see throughout many, all the different seasons of the year. And I use this more than anything else when it comes to picking places to explore. If you're a premium feature, you can download it to your computer, or you can go on the app on your phone and download it from your account on your app on your phone, and then use that to navigate the trail. And it'll be a off the grid map, so that it doesn't matter if you have cell service, because a lot of times when you get into the mountains like this, cell service is definitely not something you have a lot of. Create map. And if you are a plus subscriber, you can go in here, and if you don't see a map that you like, you can draw right on the map, and start here, and go there, here, there, there. Just draw on the map and then back to where you, let's go here. And then what it'll do, you can, mess with some of the options, but look at this. It tells you the length, the elevation gain. It gives you the, I call it cross section of what you're dealing with here. And, you can add your own waypoints and descriptions as you go. You can use this just like any other map. You can download it and navigate with it. It'll keep you on track. If you get off track, it'll tell you. You go into the AllTrails app on your phone and you start that downloaded map. And then at the end, it'll give you like calories burned, total distance, elevation, and all this data that's really awesome to use. But it also stores it on the computer here. On your profile, it gives you all your stats, the reviews you've left, the photos you've taken. And of course, you can go in there and adjust your settings or whatever. But I did this trail that last summer, and there was actually a girl, I think it was a girl, a hiker died on this trail. Right up in here somewhere. This is an exposed ridge, and they went up, and it was like a month ago, and they didn't start until like 11 a.m. and they weren't prepared for what they were about to face. And I think they got lost, and they didn't have a headlamp. They were using their cell phone for a light, and it was just a lot of bad decisions that were made. They were alone, and they got lost, and her body or his body was recovered. I can't remember that, rather it was a guy or a girl, but it's a very sad, situation. And so much of that can be prevented with just a simple program like this. A little bit of homework, a little bit of preparation allows you to know what other people are facing. Allows you to get experience with understanding what a topo map is and understanding where the spots are where you can get water and where the places are that you can camp and all that kind of stuff. When I get a trail where I'm doing backpacking, I'll usually spend a couple of hours or so just going through the info here on AllTrails. And so that's it. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just letting you know what I use and why I use it. And so I want to encourage you to go over and check AllTrails out. They give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, probably if you're curious about it, use it when you will be doing some hiking. So if you're not going to be doing any hiking in the winter, wait till the spring or the summer, start your 30-day trial and see what it can do for you. It may just save your life. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.